I think Stefon Diggs is back.
He's back! He's back. Yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
In one of the biggest upsets of the 2025 NFL season, the New England Patriots held on to beat the previously undefeated Buffalo Bills, winning 23-20 in a thrilling victory. That win doesn't happen without an iconic Stefon Diggs performance, with the star wideout catching 10 of 12 targets for 146 yards, the most he's had in a game since Week 2 of the 2022 season. According to the Sunday Night Football broadcast, that was the most receiving yards ever by a former Bills player against Buffalo. It's been less than a calendar year since Stefon Diggs tore his ACL while playing for the Houston Texans, but with the way he's playing lately, you'd never guess that the 31-year-old star suffered such a severe injury last October. In fact, Diggs was back on the field in time for Patriots training camp this offseason, being left off of the team's PUP list just 9 months after tearing his ACL. That's typically the absolute earliest an orthopedic surgeon would allow a pro athlete back for physical contact, but it's even trickier when you're talking about a receiver with how much they plant and cut and how much stress is put on that knee. That doesn't seem to matter for Diggs because he's already looking like the former peak version of himself in New England. Even the most optimistic projections for Diggs would have assumed that it would have taken him a while to A, get back to 100% health, and B, develop some kind of chemistry with Drake May. But that hasn't remotely been the case, especially over the last couple of games. In fact, this is now the first time Diggs has posted back-to-back games with at least 100 receiving yards since October of the 2023 season. Sunday night's win was clearly emotional for Diggs too. Just listen to what he had to say immediately following the game.
What are your emotions after the game?
I'm just so excited. Obviously, this game has a way of teaching you a lot of things. I told everybody in the beginning of the game, band together. You know what I'm saying? Lean on your brother. And I'm just so proud of these guys. You know, his first time having prime time, I can't tell. You know what I'm saying? Like it been too early in the game, kind of happened. Excuse my language, things kind of happen. But the way to bounce back, he's a hell of a player. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to be a part of this thing.
Even if he hasn't found the end zone just yet, Diggs is having the most efficient year of his career as a wide receiver. Immediately following Sunday night's win, Pro Football Focus had Diggs with an excellent 2.94 yards per route run this season. The highest of his career before 2025 was 2.50 with the Vikings in 2019, nearly half a yard less per route run. He's also had the second lowest drop rate of his career and has quickly become one of May's most trusted targets. This is really starting to feel like a career renaissance for Stefon Diggs, and it looks like he still has plenty left in the tank. So let's dive into the film from Sunday's win over Buffalo, where he got the last laugh against his former team in today's episode of Best Available. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel on YouTube, follow us on socials at BestAvailableYT, and consider becoming a member. For $2.99 a month, you get all kinds of added benefits to the channel, including full access to my 2026 NFL Draft Big Board, where I am constantly updating notes, grading players, ranking by position. So far, we have 36 players graded for the NFL Draft, and that will continue to grow. Also be on the lookout for additional plays, additional other perks coming down the road as we add more members. So with that, why don't we go ahead and dive into the Stefon Diggs tape? Got to give credit to the Patriots for their game plan. They really knew what Buffalo wanted to run against them defensively and really attacked that. The story of this game for Diggs is a lot of speed outs and out-cutting routes. If you look at his route tree on Next Gen Stats, there is very little happening in the middle of the field. But that was all by design. And I think this play action to open the game really set the tone for what they were trying to do all day. Great example of putting defenders in conflict. So we're going to have a cover 3 look. We're going to have these safeties rotate, and then we're going to have deep third, deep third, deep third. This safety's coming down. So, they have those responsibilities, and this is trying to stress these two defensive backs on these two routes to determine where we're going to throw it. So we have this play action here. Hollins is releasing inside and then running a corner, and then we have a speed out with Diggs. And the two defenders we're focusing on are here and here. As we get into this, Teron Johnson is, filling run. He's expecting it. By the time he realizes a defender's getting by him, It's too late, so he needs to get back. He's playing the flat, and then we're watching. So May has the ball. He's scanning. He's reading Teron Johnson, who's out of position. So we see we have a win here, but then we need to read what Tre'Davious White is going to do. Tre'Davious White flips his hips, which is the correct decision. He is playing deep third here, and if May or Hollins, who is correctly running a corner route, if White does not play his assignment, that is a wide open play. You know, you're going to have all this space for an explosive. So White makes the right decision here. Teron Johnson's just out of position, and then Diggs makes a man miss, makes another man miss, takes off, gets like 15, 16 yards to set the tone early. But again, I really like this play. If you watch it in full and just watch, again, these two defenders and how they react to play action, I still will give Trey White credit because he is making the right decision here to close off this corner route. But, you know, it's just a better play by Diggs and Teron Johnson being out of position to, you know, have a really successful play here. Good example here of the chemistry still not being all the way there between Diggs and May. We just have this slant route. And I really think, you know, this is, I think, only drop that Diggs has been credited with this season. But in the context of the game, I think May saved Diggs' life here. So he has a nice release here and creates separation on the slant. But look at this number 2 defender's eyes. He's looking right at that slant, reads it the whole way. I think May realizes that's going to happen, and so he throws behind Diggs. And Diggs is not ready for that, doesn't slow down. And, you know, you might be thinking a bad play by Diggs or a bad throw by May, but I think the throw behind is intentional to prevent Diggs from, if he's running full speed and hits this in stride, this is a violent collision between these two guys. So that's throwing behind, and maybe if Diggs is more aware or understanding what May's trying to do and reads that second defender, that number 2 defender, again, if you're looking, he's looking the whole way at Diggs. Maybe we can sit in this zone where May wants to throw it, prevent one of those nasty collisions. So yeah, it's an incompletion, but for the sake of the game and surviving, you know, winning the war, not the battle, I think that's a really smart play from May that prevents a big hit on Diggs. And something that just more reps, they've only been playing with each other for a couple months. I think more reps, they'll get more comfortable in situations like this. But I got to give Teron Johnson credit here too, this defender. Nice reaction to break down on that route to prevent the catch. But I still think, yeah, Diggs and May will figure this out down the road. All right, Diggs at the top of the screen. You want to guess what he is running? We've talked about that theme already. Yep, he's going to run an out. Got another out. We're playing because, you know, we're just playing soft back here and getting depth. All that window in the world. We don't trust this linebacker to get enough width and react in time. He doesn't. And then what I like Diggs here, I swear this man, it's kind of like Aaron Rodgers can play out of spite at times. He said a lot of nice things about the Bills organization before the game, but this is a competitive SOB. He could have ran out of bounds here, right? Very could have easily like, hey, I got the first down. Let me take it easy. He said, nah, I'm lowering my pads and I'm running through the guy. And then, you know, he lets him know it. I like that it's right in front of Vrabel too. If you notice that, Vrabel loves it right here. Vrabel is just like, yeah, awesome. Get him back up. Just the kind of team this Patriots team is. This is the biggest difference I noticed in this Patriots team on both offense and defense is they are so much less afraid of contact this year. And they really brought in the right players, whether it's Diggs or Robert Spillane on defense or all the guys they brought in. These are true culture resetters as far as competitive toughness. Big fan of this route. This is called a shake route. I don't know what else people might call it, but to me, it's a shake route. So the way I coached it at the wide receiver level is, you know, 45-degree angle for 5 yards, straight up the field for 5 yards, and then aim like a corner. So I call this a little shake route. I just like how fluid and smooth Diggs is running this. He's not trying to overemphasize any part of the shake. You know, 5, 5, 5. It's just gliding smooth. And the nice job of decelerating and adjusting his body to make that catch. But it's also just a great route against this coverage, right? You know, we're getting inside release here, allowing this guy to focus on the flat. This defender is trying to cover this hook, but we're going to run past that. So it's just attacking the soft spots in this zone and then getting in front of this safety and finding that soft spot window in the zone. And then we have this deep route holding the safety to maximize that. You know, maybe a better throw, we can get a couple extra yards after the catch, but it's also a nice job from the safety who has to play both this, you know, deep shot and break downhill on here. So, maybe he's not getting too many yards, but it's a nice adjustment as well from Diggs after the catch on a little shake route. This might have been Diggs' best play of the game. Just a really clutch situation here on an off-script play. Diggs at the bottom of the screen right here. You're going to watch how he adjusts his route here. So we have this, motion inside. So he's going to step up, and then at the snap, he's going to take off. He's going to stop. It's that little spin. So going to run this route. He's crossing across the formation, then he's breaking back outside. The second he rises, May's out of the pocket. May tells him to adjust. Watch this adjustment from Diggs on the right side of the screen. Abort the route. He puts this DB in a blender. Great off-script adjustment here. I just am obsessed with this route. He just said, nope. Okie dokes him. Generates that space. Incredible throw by May on the run. And then Diggs has strong hands, secures that while getting tackled near the sideline, hauls that in right near the goal line. Just an incredible off-script play. And that's one of the things where, chemistry is starting to click, much faster than you'd expect between a second-year quarterback and a veteran wide receiver who just showed up this offseason. That is, easily the best play of the game, in my opinion, between both May and Diggs. That's just a heck of an adjustment off script on something that, didn't look like it had any business working. And then they find a way to make a play. I love this play because this is another off-script play that Diggs just sets up really well because it's a very similar context. So we have Diggs again at the bottom of the screen this time. We're going to watch this route. So he's nice release outside, and then he reads May rolling out. So he does the fake, I'm cutting back up. Pay attention to that at the bottom. So he reads it. He does the fake, I'm going up, and then he throws by. That's a great throw by technique. If you ever coach receivers, like when you're being jammed up like this, you can use your hands to get leverage and win separation. He does a great job of that without drawing the PI. And then it's the body control. I can try and zoom in on this a little. It's going to be a little grainy, but the body control to stay on the sideline and haul that in. Just everything here is just, that is a savvy veteran that knows, hey, last time I beat this guy going deep off script, right? So he tries to fake the I'm going deep and then just throws him by. He's completely unexpecting it. And then it's just a phenomenal job to stay inbounds on that one. We've been running so many outs in this game. We actually get an in from Diggs this time. And this is another example. If you watch the Puka Nakua video we did last week, talking about selling all routes vertically, right? You got to run routes full speed to maximize separation. We're going to push this. We're going to force him. He's on his back heels. He is backpedaling. And by the time we run into our break, he's trying to trigger, but our break is so quick that he does not have time to react. And then he understands, like, hey, I kind of cooked him. All of his momentum is now going forward. So as soon as the catch happens, he swings back. It's a nice recovery by the DB, but, Trey White isn't the same player he used to be with all of his injuries. That understanding to know, like, hey, if I got clean separation off this route, this DB is going to be trying to overcompensate and adjust here. And so to spin that back out on third down, get as many yards as possible. I think we're seeing a lot here. Like, Diggs may not be the most elite athlete, and I don't know if he ever was like top tier speedster or anything like that, but he's always been an elite route runner. And we're just seeing the finer points of that route running as he gets older with age and just the savviness of understanding, so much about the game that, a younger receiver may not fully understand. It's really fun to watch, this version of Stefon Diggs. This play has no business being as explosive as it was, but when you pay attention to Diggs right here, we've got a simple little stick cut. He spins outside. I'm not sure if there's a reason for that in the context of the play. I was a little surprised by it. I don't know. I'm on the outside looking in, but it's not what I'm talking about here. After the catch, it's making one defender miss. And what I love here, his understanding of where his blockers are coming. He's got a guy down here where my face is blocking already, but just understanding that this guy is going to set up this block this way, that's some pretty impressive vision to recognize that and then take off. He does get tripped up, but, making a defender miss and reading this after the catch to seal it and get so close to the end zone, all of that's awesome. And what I love here too, again, we're talking about a guy that, changes the culture of a locker room from a competitiveness standpoint. Look at him. He made a great play, and he is just beside himself frustrated because he has still not found the end zone this season. He was that close to it. He's just wired differently, man. And I think the offense is responding to it because, man, he was out on a mission this game. Last play of the game is just helping out your quarterback. And honestly, more than anything, this is just an incredible play by Drake May. Diggs is up here at the top of the screen. May is escaping pressure. He is getting tackled. I don't know how he manages to get this throw off. Look, he is dead to rights right here, right? The fact that he manages to get this throw off by some miracle is absolutely incredible. But I do think Diggs does him some favors there, and this is not something that gets talked about a lot. But if you watch Diggs, he runs his out. He realizes his quarterback's in trouble. He starts working back toward the quarterback. Make this throw a little easier, as easy as you can. And it's a subtle move, but it's another one of those game-changing plays. Then he cuts up field, breaks a tackle, lowers his pads. Make sure you get the sticks. At this point, right here, don't do too much dancing. Just take what you can get, right? This is a 2-minute drill at the end of the game. You got to get past this yard line. Don't need to be too fancy with it. Just lower the pads, take what you can get. All of this is really savvy. And again, maybe not Diggs' best play. Unbelievable effort by May. And Diggs at least helps him out a little by working back towards that football. I may be a Packers fan, but I've been a huge fan of Diggs since his time in Minnesota. I really do think he's one of the more underappreciated route runners in the NFL. He's been such an incredible playmaker his whole career. And it seems like he still has plenty left in the tank. This, quick turnaround from an ACL to continue playing at this kind of level. I really think he's all the way back, and he's going to be a key weapon for this Patriots team as they're 3-2, have a real shot of making the playoffs. Let me know what you think of Diggs and the Patriots so far this season in the comments on this video. We'll be back later this week with our Shades of series on Wednesday and another episode on Friday. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you later this week.